I think you're 100%.
And while rapping women be telling broke dudes to be quiet, they really be doing people favors, bro. Because dating is expensive, bro. Dating costs money, bro. Bro, that's low-key why I broke up with my last girlfriend, bro. I ain't got time for it. Too much money. Bro, 2 years in a row I was in relationships, bro. I spent thousands of dollars on this relationship, bro. On top of having to spend money on the person that you're dating, you have to spend money on the person that you're dating. You trying to be fresh, so you got to get an outfit to go out. An outfit turns into a pair of shoes. A pair of shoes turns into a pair of shades. A pair of shades turns into a watch. And a watch turns into some cologne. I'm already down hundreds of dollars for one night. And I'm far from broke. I'm not broke, but I'm cheap. I don't like spending money like that, bro. I don't like seeing a whole bunch of money leaving at once. I grew up in the church. My dad told me for a long time, don't have sex before you're married. Don't have sex before you're married. I did not listen at all. I did my thing. Okay. And that's why God sent down these gas prices. I don't want to date nobody right now.
Dang. Can you relate to that?
Can I relate to that? No. I can relate to dating being expensive. I can't.
Bro, it's super expensive.
What I can't relate to is paying to then pay for the date. So I don't know. He's probably being a little hyperbolic here, but personally speaking, it sounds like a spending problem. Because if you're out here buying stuff to be fresh for every single date, which I'm sure he's not doing.
Yeah.
But if he's out here buying stuff to be fresh for the multiple different dates, to me that's just stupid. If you're having to buy a new pair of shoes for your every third date, or a new hat or a new shirt for every fourth date, you should probably chill out.
I mean, but what I'm thinking when he's saying that, he's probably someone that just doesn't really like dress like that. He might just wear a very like monotone outfit. So he probably doesn't have going, like that's what I'm thinking. Like he probably doesn't have going out clothes. So that way when he goes on date, he actually has to spend money on, because what I'm saying is that he probably doesn't put a lot of effort in.
What I'm saying is you could be right, but then after the third date, you should have now at least 3 outfits to use for the fourth, is what I'm saying. Like if that's the case. But again, he could have been like being like extreme about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's TikTok.
Yeah.
It's TikTok.
This perspective from the opposite side too. Women talking about, we got to get our makeup done, our fillers done. We have to go get our nails done, and that costs this much. And and so they're adding all that into the cost of what they pay, which then they're like, okay, so if we're paying all this to look good for you, then you shouldn't mind paying for the date because we did all this money already. Bro, no, it's not how it works.
I mean, that's because guys don't care about none of that stuff.
Not only that, you're going to wear that makeup to the next date after you don't call me back.
Ooh.
But the point is, yeah, like, you didn't tell me your thoughts on this.
No, I mean, my thoughts is like, yeah, I mean, listen, as a young man, when I first started dating, I didn't realize how expensive it was either. Because listen, when you're young, a lot of times you don't have your stuff together, right? So you don't realize how much stuff actually goes into the date.
Yep.
So like, obviously, gas, then there's a plate depending on where you make reservations at. Because sometimes if you go, like most people, let's be honest, most people do have a date on what day? Friday or Saturday.
Yep.
Most places, if you're going to a place like a restaurant, are going to be booked up. If you live, depending on where you live, right?
Yeah.
Are going to be booked up on a Friday or a Saturday. So then you got to make reservations. Then you got to put in money for that. And then there's the whole hickamaroo. And then you got to confirm the date. Hey, you want to go this day? Oh no, she might be running a little bit late. That's 15 minutes late. Then you're waiting. Then you're like, there's a lot of like,
that's spending time.
I mean, it's time. But
Which
then
is
like
more valuable than money, but yeah.
But then there's other stuff like your haircut, all the other extra stuff. So I mean, I definitely get how it can like add up and you don't even realize it. Because I mean, especially for a lot of dudes don't get things done unless they know they have to do something.
See, and that's the part to me that's like, that's the part that I don't personally do, but I know that some dudes do, which sounds ridiculous. Some dudes got some, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get my haircut every 2-3 weeks regularly. Now, if I'm in between a haircut and it's starting to get a little bit rough and I need to go on a date, sure, I'll get a cut.
Yeah.
But I'm not out here getting cuts right before every single date. Like if it's been a week and it's grown in a little bit, it's whatever. I'm also not out here like, okay, I spent this much to go from here to there to take this girl on a date. No, I put guys in my car regardless. So if I want
to, some people listen. But listen, I get it when you're young, you're broke.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because let's be honest, when you're young, you ride it till E. You see it, like it's a little bit. You're like, all right, you know what? I could go another mile, another 2 miles.
You know what's wild? All right. So let's say pre-college for me.
Yeah.
I didn't really go on proper dates. It was like we went and hung out, and that's what it was.
I mean, I feel like a lot of us didn't do it because you don't want to count.
That's what I'm saying. So when you're talking about like as an adult now.
Okay, fair.
You see what I'm saying? As an adult.
Fair enough.
Okay, so that goes into another conversation whether or not should you be broke dating, which is a different topic.
You shouldn't.
All right, so then that's that.
Fair, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Especially as an adult. Nah.
Be expensive because as a man, someone said the other day that dating must be expensive because as a man, when you're trying to impress a woman and court a woman, you try to go above and beyond, so it must cost a lot of money. My response is not really, and it should not cost a lot of money, and this is why. This is what I believe to be courting a woman the correct way. First of all, what can you do for yourself? You feel what I'm saying? Now, me personally, as a man man, single, doing my own thing, I still eat nice shit. I still buy nice shit. I still do nice shit. So a date with me is inviting you into the nice shit that I already do for myself. Now, I'm not saying that we're not going to do something fancy or do something dope or do something where we got to get dressed, but I'll never ever present something to a woman that I couldn't do for myself. And if you do that, that's what makes it expensive, because you're spending shit and you're doing shit that you're not normally doing. You know what I'm saying? But if you invite a motherfucker to come do some of the same activities or the same caliber of activities and events and dinners that you do with yourself, you don't even look at the cost of the shit because you're used to spending it. So when it comes to being genuine, though, like when it comes to being genuine, you don't even look at the cost of something or how inconvenient it was or none of those type of things when you're doing it just off of the strength of, I want to make this person happy or I want to enjoy my time with this person. And when you look at things from that type of lens, you don't see it as expensive.
What do you think? I saw you shake your head. What do you think?
It's easy math. Whatever he spends normally times 2. If he treats himself to a movie and after the movie he goes and gets a dinner or a meal for himself, after that he stops by and he swings up and picks up some fruit to end the night off with. This is a terrible night. I don't know why I just said that order, but you get my point. Okay, that might cost $80. Now he invites a girl on a date and he does the same thing because he's inviting her into his world. That $80 is now $160.
I think you're thinking about it too logically. I don't think he's thinking about it from that aspect. I think he's talking about the guys that I kind of mentioned before, where they don't do any of that stuff and they only do it when they're on a date with a woman. So they only go to a nice restaurant when they're on a date with a woman. They only look nice when they're on a date with a woman. They're only doing this stuff because they're on a date with a woman, opposed to them just naturally doing. I think that's what he's more talking about. I don't think he's like more like thinking about like, oh, I gotta, times 2. I think that's what he's more speaking about.
I agree with you. I do think he's speaking about that more. And I picked it up too. I think you're 100% correct on that. Yeah. And I agree with him on that point. 100%.
No, I like, listen, even the way that I plan, like my first date, like I never go to dinner. And it's not because like, oh, I'm trying to prove that I'm an alpha male, I don't take girls out on dinner. It's none of that like weird stuff. It's just that like, that's not really what I enjoy when I first want to meet someone. Like I'd rather just do an activity. Like I'd rather go to golf. I'd rather do bowling. I'd rather go for a drink. I'd rather do something that's like casual that I would do with my friends, because that's something I would normally do, opposed to doing something that like I wouldn't do. It's not that I would never do it. It's just that like in my daily life, that's just not something I do. Like I'm not going to go run off to a random restaurant and spend like an hour at that's not something that I'm doing on a regular basis. Okay. So, I mean, I wouldn't do that for a first date.
Yeah. And listen, like I said, I agree with that again, 100%. What I don't agree with, or at least what he probably just skipped over, is that while you might, let's say you are someone who likes to go to fancy restaurants for yourself. Okay. And let's say you spend on average $120 for yourself. Yeah. You're spending $240 now if you take each date to that restaurant. Yeah. So I don't think, maybe take her to what you normally do for yourself on date 3. Or if you really think she's into you or something like that. But just as a first date, I'm not taking you to Ruth Chris if I like treat myself to Ruth Chris.
No. I mean, I definitely wouldn't do that on a first. Listen, on a first date should really just be like if you even like the person.
Well, yeah. Because
that's another reason why, like, because to me it's kind of like I'd rather have the first date be a little bit brief so I can see if I even like or I want to be around that person, opposed to commit to like a long period of time. You don't even know if you like that person. Because that to me it sounds like a terrible job interview. Like you're just stuck there and you gotta wait till they're done answering all the questions and you're like, crap, I don't even want to be here.
Right. And even women aren't. I can't even lie to you, gang. There's a reason why even women aren't dating anymore, right? The boomers love to say, oh, we're not having enough kids. This economy's fucked. It's expensive to go on a date, right? My meal goes from $30 to $100 when I'm with a woman, right? So I've been avoiding it the past few years. I haven't really been on the streets, except for this one Latina woman who's happens to be my coworker, 5'9" with the body of a goddess, but the soul of a demon. Don't tell HR. I doubt this is gonna blow up. But she invited me out to go get drinks after the company had like a baseball game that we all had tickets to. And she texted me like, let's get drinks after this. I was like, okay, cool. So we get some food and drinks after the whole company event. And I'm thinking in my head, okay, yeah, this is probably going to be a little bit expensive. Probably like $80, $100, $110, something like that. Gang, the bill comes out to like $120. And I'm used to being 100-0 type of guy. I don't go 50-50 with women. It's just like something that registers in my mind. Like, I'll pay for it. I got us. Let me provide. Let the man be the man, right? But this Latina woman, I pull out my card. She starts speaking Spanish. Like, no, papi, I got this. She's had a few drinks. She called me papi. I said, oh, right. And at that moment, I was like, okay, word. I don't mind a free meal, but I had to show resistance to be like, oh, I'm not gonna let you. So I'd be like, I got this. She said, no. I got it. And I was like, okay, word, gang, that bill was expensive. And in my mind, I know how much this woman makes because we're in damn near the same position, less than $80K a year. She's paying probably like 2.5 for rent. I'm pocket watching. So I'm like, wow. And I asked her the question of how do you do you go on dates a lot? And she was like, I try to. I try to pay for the date every time on the first date. I was like, damn. You got it like that? And she was like, no, but I make extra money using this app called Pay Me. I was like, what the fuck is Pay Me? Right, gang? Dog, you guys won't even believe this shit. It's basically an app that pays you out for settlements on businesses and shit like that. So, for example, if Fortnite gets sued and they're like, they need...
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. So ultimately, what I'm going to say is, yeah, dating is expensive. So I definitely got to agree with it. If you don't have your stuff together, you definitely should not be dating. Don't know why you would ever do that. What do you think? I'm serious. You know how stressful that is when you're broke and you try to date?
I think it is because like that's a whole nother video. So just to answer your question, bad decision. If you don't have the money for it, don't do it.
Stay your ass at home.
Stay